She was being dragged out of the cafe, her scream caught mid-breath, her wrist gripped like a prisoner. But no one moved, no one helped, until a single dad stood up from his table, stepped between her and danger, and said, with ice in his voice, "Touch my wife again, and you'll regret it." What led to that moment? Who was she to him? And why did a stranger suddenly call her his wife in front of everyone? Stay with us through this story that will break your heart, then slowly mend it again. And before we dive into this emotional roller coaster, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss powerful real-life inspired stories like this one. Aiden Carter lived his life in silence after the death of his wife, Emily. She passed 3 years ago in a tragic car accident, leaving behind their 6-year-old daughter, Lily, and a void that no amount of time could ever truly fill. Aiden became the kind of man who avoided eye contact at school pickups, who packed peanut butter sandwiches with robotic hands, who didn't know how to laugh anymore. Lily was the only light he had, and he protected her like the last candle in a storm. Then came the cafe. Then came her. It was a Wednesday afternoon, quiet and drizzly. Aiden had just picked Lily up from school and took her to a small corner cafe they rarely visited. She had begged for hot chocolate and muffins, and for once, he didn't say no. As they sat near the window, Lily doodled on her napkin while Aiden sipped his coffee, his eyes distant. Then, a loud voice cut through the quiet buzz. "You think you can ignore me now, Isla?" The man's tone was rough, commanding. Aiden turned. At the far end of the cafe, a woman sat alone with a barely touched tea in front of her. She wore a soft blue cardigan, her hair pulled back messily, as if she had left her house in a hurry. Her eyes were tired, like they hadn't seen a full night of sleep in months, and they were filled with fear. The man who now stood beside her table was large, wearing a dark coat. His hand slammed down hard enough to rattle the spoon on her saucer. "I told you to answer your phone. What kind of game are you playing?" She whispered something, but it was too quiet to hear. That's when he grabbed her wrist. Hard. She gasped, trying to pull back, but he yanked her to her feet. The room froze. Everyone stared. No one moved. Lily dropped her crayon. "Daddy," she whispered, "he's hurting her." Aiden felt something awaken inside him. That same instinct that had once caused him to run into a burning car to save Emily, years before. His feet moved before his mind even caught up. He stepped forward, eyes locked on the woman's trembling form. The man had half dragged her toward the door when Aiden's voice cut through the room like a blade. "Let her go." The man turned, surprised. "Mind your business." Aiden didn't flinch. He walked closer. "Touch my wife again, and you'll regret it." The cafe went completely silent. Lily stood on her chair now, eyes wide. The man's face twisted in confusion. "Your wife? You serious?" Aiden's voice didn't waver. "Let her go." Whether it was the sheer force in Aiden's tone or the confusion from his words, the man did what no one expected. He released her. She stumbled, falling against Aiden, who caught her with ease. The man scoffed. "Whatever. Take your drama elsewhere." He stormed out, slamming the glass door behind him. The woman collapsed into Aiden's arms, shaking. People in the cafe began murmuring, but Aiden didn't care. He led her to the table where Lily sat and gently helped her into a seat. "Are you okay?" he asked softly. She nodded, breathless, eyes still wide with shock. Why did you say I was your wife?" Lily leaned over and took her hand innocently. "Because my daddy only protects the people he loves." Isla, he would learn her name minutes later, cried quietly. And something about her tears made Aiden realize, sometimes, the strongest connections are born in the middle of chaos. He offered to take her home, but she refused. "I'm safer not leading anyone to where I live." So he brought her and Lily to a small park nearby. She told him her name, that she had just left a long, abusive relationship, that she had no friends left, no family she could count on. "He controls everything," she said. "Even my fear." Lily listened, and then handed her a folded napkin. "This is you," she said. On it was a crayon drawing of a girl with a blue sweater and a crown. Isla choked on a laugh, the first real one Aiden had heard in months. They sat there as the sky dimmed. He didn't ask for anything. He just let her be. When she stood to leave, she looked at Aiden and said, "Thank you for pretending I was someone worth saving." He met her eyes. "I wasn't pretending." And as she walked away that evening, his heart beat in a rhythm it hadn't known since Emily. The days after their cafe encounter turned into weeks. Aiden didn't expect to see Isla again, but he thought about her. Often. Too often. Lily talked about her daily, even drawing pictures of her as a superhero. Miss Isla can fly away from bad guys, she'd say proudly. Then, one evening, there was a knock at their door. Aiden opened it to find Isla standing there, her cardigan soaked from the rain. I didn't know where else to go, she said. He stepped aside without a word. She didn't stay the night, but she returned the next day, and the next. Eventually, Isla and Lily started baking together, watching cartoons, building forts in the living room. Aiden would watch from the kitchen, wondering when this fragile, beautiful chaos had begun to feel like family again. One night, as Lily lay asleep, Isla confessed, "No one's ever protected me before. Not without asking for something in return." Aiden looked at her. "I don't want anything. Just you to feel safe." She smiled sadly. "You make me feel that. But I don't know if I deserve it." "You do," he said. "You deserve all of it. But not all storms stay quiet forever." 2 weeks later, Isla didn't show up. She didn't answer calls or texts. Aiden's heart raced. His mind spiraled. That night, Lily cried herself to sleep. By the third day, Aiden called every hospital he could think of. Nothing. He drove to the cafe and asked the owner if he'd seen her. The man shook his head. Then, at 2 a.m. that night, Isla showed up. Her face was bruised, her hand bandaged. She looked exhausted, but defiant. "I went to the police," she said. "I gave them everything. Photos, voice recordings, texts. They arrested him." Aiden pulled her inside, wrapped her in a blanket. Lily woke up, ran to her, and hugged her tightly. "Don't go away again," she whispered. "I won't," Isla promised. From that point, things changed. Isla stayed. She began helping with Lily's homework. She planted flowers in the backyard. She brought warmth into corners of the house Aiden didn't know were cold. Then one morning, as the three of them ate breakfast, Aiden looked at Isla and said, "I meant it, you know." She blinked. "Meant what? In the cafe? When I called you my wife?" She laughed lightly. "You were being dramatic." "No," he said. "I was being honest." She froze. "Will you marry me, Isla?" Aiden asked. "Not because you need saving, but because you saved me." Lily cheered before Isla could even respond. Through tears, Isla whispered, "Yes." Their wedding was small, held at the cafe where it all began. The owner offered the space for free. As Isla walked down the aisle, Lily held her hand. And when Aiden said his vows, he ended with the words he once used to protect her. "I will never let anyone hurt you again. Because now, you're not just my wife. You're my whole heart." The cafe clapped. And this time, Isla didn't cry from fear. She cried because she was home. If this story touched you, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more emotional, powerful stories to life that remind us all. Love may not come when we want it, but it always comes when we need it most.